Cold calling, is it dead or is it alive? I'm Sam Dunning, co-owner over at webchoiceuk.com and host of the Top 100 B2B Marketing Podcast Business Growth Show. And if you want actionable website, B2B marketing tips, podcasts, goodies, and more, check out my weekly email at businessgrowth.email. So today, I wanted to test it for myself. There's so much talk on LinkedIn, other social channels that cold calling is a waste of time, that you shouldn't do it, that it's not effective for B2B marketing or sales. So I like to experiment with different channels most months. I thought I'd give it a go myself. I call into a B2B tech company turning over millions to see if I could generate an appointment. Here's how it goes.
Hello.
Good morning.
Who's this?
Oh, hi. Probably going to hate me, actually. It was a ice cold call.
Hi, what's it regarding?
Yeah, just wondering if you wanted to hang up or let me have 30 seconds and then decide.
Yeah, no, 30 seconds is fine.
Cheers. So I'll often speak to revenue or marketing leaders like yourself, and
Yeah.
they'll share with me they've got a great offer, but are sometimes a little frustrated is when potential clients searching on Google for your services, sometimes competitors are above you, so they're stealing traffic or opportunity to your website, or maybe you already do some SEO and some paid search, but you feel like your website might not be converting those hard-earned visitors into a steady stream of sales ops for the team. Or perhaps you dabble in a bit of both, but the agency that you partner with to help you feel might not be delivering on some of their initial promises. But kind of get the feeling to tell me none of that applies to your world.
Well, no, it's not so much that. It's in terms of where we are in our marketing has only really become an independent business function over the last year. So we've got a kind of roadmap of areas of focus. And currently, although we are finalising some of the details for the next financial year in terms of planning, but currently SEO website stuff is reasonably low down the ranking. Most of where we generate revenue, and to be honest, in terms of where our market is, how competitive you can realistically be with SEO without a monumental budget is kind of a little bit self-limiting. So it's definitely not something that we don't have those challenges. It's just in terms of like the priority of the challenges that we're dealing with and how we're approaching them. It's not a massively high priority for us at the moment.
I see. Well, that's fair. What would you say is more of a priority?
Well, we're working a lot on so kind of direct outreach. So doing say semi-traditional telemarketing, LinkedIn activity, email campaigns, those sorts of things, and content generation. Because, as I said, having only really kind of started to flesh out the marketing function within the business over the last year, we are in a position where we need to get a solid grounding of core content and supporting materials around service offers and things like that, rather than kind of taking what would be traditionally a bit more of an ad hoc approach within the sales team. So those are, as you can imagine, fairly sizable pieces of work. We have got a website. Well, frankly, website complete redesign is on the cards at some point. That will probably happen in the next financial year, although I'm not sure quite when in the next financial year yet. So until we've kind of got that sorted, SEO. I've worked in this industry for 10 years, maybe a bit longer. Is hyper competitive. We're right, so it's boom industry time, and there are some of the players with massive budgets. And having run some SEO stuff in the past, anything that was of like significant interest, it tended to be very expensive quite quickly, unless you were running very kind of limited budgets for skimming off the top. And to be honest, I've reached the conclusion, having run through it before, that unless you have the budget to allocate to it, it doesn't seem to generate really an awful lot of anything. Just because of it being almost impossible to stand out from the crowd in that regard. And it's not something that I think the buyers that we talk to tend to kind of go to Google for. Tends to be more relationship led, because we're talking to, C team decision makers, budget holders and stuff like that, rather than, it's not a commodity type offering.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that for sure. It's I don't think it's one of those products where or services people just wake up and decide they're going to invest a significant amount into.
No, our sales cycle is like 18 months to 2 years. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, it sounds like you've only recently, the last year or so, built out the marketing function. Is that because a lot of work's just come kind of word of mouth referral up to now, or?
I mean, yeah, we've worked very well on referral and sales team led. So,
okay.
Kind of direct outreach. I mean, you could kind of look at it in a way in terms of there's been a very spearfishing approach within the sales team that's kind of like covered baseline marketing activity, but obviously you reach scalability issues with that. You want your salespeople selling rather than prospecting.
Yeah.
And we're going through like very substantial growth. So marketing is obviously high on the list of things that we needed to develop as a more fully fledged function. Can I ask where you're calling from?
Oh, sorry. My name's Sam, and it's Web Choice.
Okay.
So, no, I mean, from what you've shared, weirdly enough, I work with quite a lot of, not necessarily, but quite a lot of SaaS and tech B2B companies, and especially funded ones or venture funded ones that have been very heavy on outbound, following a traditional model, like a bit like you said, like spearfishing idle fit clients and starting conversations with them over the phone or email, a bit like I'm doing now. And like you say, eventually they reach a point where they think, well, we've hit our cap on revenue for this. Now we need some work coming inbound, whether that is organic search, SEO, paid search, or also optimizing the website to make sure that both inbound prospects convert effectively and anyone that comes outbound actually builds trust when they visit the website, and actually gets a good impression of your company and is still encouraged to keep in touch. Those tend to be the pain points we fix. Sounds like you might have a website redesign on the cards as well, so I'm not sure if you've got a vendor sorted for that. We haven't.
We've had a couple of conversations. That's kind of what I wanted to get. If I give you my, like, I'm not going to have anything in the next 6 months in terms. Well, so no, we're further into the year of December. Kind of before the end of March, I'm probably not going to have anything meaningful in terms of looking at a website in terms of timelines, because we'll be nailing down the budget end of financial year. But if that's an area that you do have some work like expertise in, if you wanted to bung me over an email with your contacts, and then I'll kind of get back in touch, say early April, I'd be very interested in talking about that, because whilst we're not looking at, as I said, SEO and stuff like that in the short or even necessarily kind of near medium term, I would like to make sure we are building from a foundation that allows us to support what we want to do with the minimum fuss and the maximum impact further down the line. So having something that has taken those things into consideration already would be worthwhile. It would be definitely worth. I'd be interested to hear thoughts and kind of approach and stuff, but now is not necessarily the time. So if I give you my email and you want to get in, like, pop out, feel free to just like drop one over now. But if you then wanted to get back in touch early April, then there might be a more kind of substantive kind of conversation to have.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool. So it's
cool. Yeah, happy to send an email across and give you a quick snapshot of the company and some of our work and such like that. sounds like budget's probably not going to open until April time.
Yeah, I mean, our internal budget processes tend to, we have a couple of layers of approval, so
Sure.
it's more a case of not having certainty until then, and being a great believer in minimum effort, maximum output. I don't like to kind of spend too much time focusing on something until I know I've got budget for it.
Yeah.
So by then I will, and I'll also have an idea on timeline around when in the next financial year we'll be looking at a website and stuff like that. So that would be a good time to chat.
Yeah, no probs. Just mainly because I've got a terrible memory more than anything. Would you be horribly against me putting something on the calendar, kind of maybe early April, like Friday the 7th or something like that?
No, go for it. That's fine. Oh,
I can put a bit later if that's too
early. Well, I'm trying to remember when because I've got some leave early April. When's Easter?
Good question. Easter Monday is the 10th of April, it looks like.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which is a Monday.
So I would probably go for Tuesday the 4th, afternoon of Tuesday the 4th.
Tuesday, yeah, sure. Tuesday 4th, about 2 p.m.
Yeah, that works.
2 p.m. April. Yeah, cool. I'll pop you a message after this call, just so you've got my info and give you some examples of kind of similar clients we've helped. And then, I'll put that invite for Tuesday 4th of April at 2 p.m.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
No, that's good. It's just be good to have a catch up and kind of understand things in a little bit more detail near the time.
Sure. Just one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna hang up and think, "Oh God, I've agreed to meet with someone I've met over a cold call," are you?
No. I mean, I'm assuming we're just going to do a call. That's fine. Like whenever in April, that's fine. My other hat is sales, so
okay.
I get it.
You know the score.
Yeah.
No, that sounds good. I'll get that invite across. That come from Sam at WebChoice, and then we'll catch up then.
Fantastic. All right, Sam. Have a great Christmas and New Year in the meantime, and I look forward to catching up with you in the spring.
Yeah, same to you. Winter is coming. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, Sam. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there you have it. If you enjoyed today's episode, a quick subscribe is much appreciated. And with that, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.